Hello everyone, welcome to Monday Market Must Knows. My name is Merlin Rothfeld, and here are 3 things to pay attention to for the upcoming trading week. And as we like to do, we're going to sprinkle on probably more than 3, but let's just get rolling. The first thing is going to be the central banks. Now normally we're talking about the U.S. central banks, the Federal Reserve, but this week we're going to be going to the neighbors to the north and across the pond. On Wednesday, we have Canada, the Bank of Canada, coming out with their rate statement, which is expected to stay right at where it is at 25 basis points. And of course, we'll roll the dice here that they don't lower it. The next one is even more interesting and probably more influential, which is the euro. That's the ECB coming out with their main refinance rate. That is expected to stay at 0 as well. And we've heard a lot about central banks around the world potentially going negative. We shall see. The reason why this is so important is a couple of factors. Number one, if you're a Forex trader, take a peek at what the US dollar has been doing. This is the USD CAD, meaning the US dollar against the Canadian dollar. The US dollar has been plummeting. I mean, it's right now in a free fall, which means the Canadian dollar is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. That's not good for the Canadian dollar, and they may need to actually weaken their currency going forward to help prevent trade problems. Now we look at the euro, and we have the inverse picture here because the euro is the first currency. This is the euro against the US dollar. The euro is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Of course, a very strong euro significantly impacts exports and business activities, so they may do things to weaken their currency as well, and lo and behold, we're back in a currency war. So pay attention to those announcements happening this week. The next one, and this is a biggie. It's the game you used to play when you were a kid. It was called Kick the Can. Remember that game? Well, this is just Washington, D.C.'s version. Now, you might remember the last time we had a government budget deadline was October 1st. Yeah, these dysfunctional governors and politicians couldn't come up with a plan to come up with a budget. So what do? We kicked it down the road to December 11th. And, well, let me check my watch real quick. You know what? It's coming up this Friday, December 11th. So will we get a government shutdown? Well, there's a lot of pressure on them right now to pass a budget so we don't get a shutdown. But it begs the question, will they do anything by the end of the year? And will that something result in, I don't know, maybe that S word, a little bit of stimulus here, cut you some checks, maybe give you $1,500 to get a COVID vaccine? Who knows? Bottom line is there'll probably be a lot more pressure on Capitol Hill to pass some form of stimulus here so it doesn't look like they're inept and haven't done anything for us. So my guess is you'll probably see a lot more talk with regard to stimulus this week. And what we do know is stimulus talks create significant volatility. We saw last week huge moves to the upside just on the hopes of stimulus. If we actually get some, we could see even bigger swings. All right, finally, back to earnings calendar. It's earnings season, and you can see here we've got 198 companies reporting earnings, and there's a couple here that I want you guys to pronounce that are reporting earnings because there's no way I'm going to even attempt to pronounce that Koninjigschneik name. I'll just leave it at that. I'm going to go to ones that I do know. Let's go to Monday with Casey's General Store. Not that important. And bottom line is, it's the tail end of earnings season, folks. Not a lot of major ones except for Thursday. Thursday's the biggie. Let's go to Tuesday, which brings us AutoZone and GameStop. For all of you who've been quarantined and stuck at home, maybe games are the way to go right now. Move on to Wednesday. You've got Campbell's Soup, because of course you're eating at home, and soup is good food. Now Thursday brings us to the big day, which is Avgo, which is Broadcom. You have Adobe, Costco, which has been the staple of American consumption during COVID, and Oracle rolling out earnings on Thursday. Friday, really there's nothing going on, which makes it a roundup for your earnings season. And that is your Monday Market Must Knows, my friends. Be careful out there. Hope you have a great trading week. We'll see you next week.